Yo, what's going on, Council? And welcome back for another week of anime. Thank you all for joining us. As always, I'm your host, Ace. That's your other host, McMillion. And this week, everybody, we got another special one. But of course, before we get started, if you'd like to join the council, everybody, as we discuss all things anime and sometimes manga, then please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, as well as follow us on our social media so you can stay up to date on all things about the council, everybody. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get straight into it, everybody. You already know the deal. The council is now in session, everybody. Let the meeting begin. All right, everybody. Of course, as always, welcome back. Thank you all for joining us for another week. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, my friend. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Well, why don't you go ahead and rephrase that. Apologies. So to get us started, everybody, I'm going to start us off with some council announcements. First council announcement, everybody. So for today, we just want to let everybody know that our most recent Fearing reaction, episode 4 and 5, is now out on the YouTube. So definitely go and check it out. As well as, I believe, actually, that's the only council announcement today. Yeah, just the Fearing reaction episodes. Yeah, so everybody just go and check that out. And I'm going to hand it off to McMillion, who's going to go ahead and get out today's agenda.
All right, yep. To start us off, we'll be doing Undead Unluck, the Winter Special review. We know we said we'd have that one coming, so here it is now. Then we'll go ahead into news and our weekly rec. News, weekly rec, and then we'll round it off with our weekly discussions of JJK and Sins to Be a Hero. Catching up with episodes, give me 1 second, not mistaken, 53 and 54 for JJK. And then Sins to Be a Hero, we've got a bit 5 through 7. So be prepared to hear 2 men ramble about Sins to Be a Hero for a bit.
All right, thank you for that. Well, as McMillian just said, today's first topic, everybody, is the winter special for Undead Unluck. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. It was not what I thought it was going to be. They was hyping up this 1 hour special like it was just gonna pop off, but really it's just the continuation of the story. I don't know why. Like, this could have been episode 1 of season 2, honestly.
Okay, so that was a question I had. I was like, would you have preferred to have waited for this to have been a special, or just wait till the season came back?
We could have waited for the season to come back for this, because this is basically just season 2, episode 1.
Yeah, because I was like, half of this hour special is a recap of the first season. Now, it has been some time since the first season went off air, so I'll at least give them that. It wasn't like, I hate when animes do season recaps in the middle of the damn season. Like, I'm not watching the show. So at least they didn't do that. But still, to hype up a 1 hour special and then half of the thing be a recap of season 1 just felt wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it should have had that much runtime. I will say the second half, the continuation of the story, was interesting. We get flashbacks on was Unbelievable
Billy.
or yeah, but I was trying to remember his code name. But yeah, we get a flashback on Billy and his what made him the way he is, and that was cool. And we got to see him face off against Injustice, whose name I cannot remember for the life of me, but that shit was raw. That shit was raw as hell. And then we rounded off the episode where with kind of like the open ended of like what Andy and Fuka are doing. And it basically ends. And I wasn't, like I said, if it wasn't for the first half, I think I would have enjoyed it much more. Overall, this probably should have just came out when the season came back. I don't know why it had to be a special. It didn't feel like nothing
special about it.
Yeah, exactly. Like nothing, there was nothing here that I felt like I could not have waited for technically. And I probably would have been better off waiting for it, because we would have, had this would have been in conjunction with what the rest of what was happening with the season. Now it just feels disjointed. And I would not be surprised, just because the way anime has been moving lately, if they slice off the recap and just make that episode 1 anyway. So
I swear, if they do this episode again in season 2, I might lose.
I'm just saying, the way anime's been moving, they've been doing some messed up stuff like that. So I hope it's not the case.
No,
but it wouldn't surprise me, right?
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, no, they really had us, sitting there for the first 20 minutes of the episode, basically really listening to exposition that we already knew. Besides, like you said, the Billy stuff like that. I guess that was kind of interesting. Besides that, we were just basically sitting through exposition that we already knew to get to 2 fights that ended pretty quickly. But like you said, the Justice versus Billy fight was raw.
Great.
It was nice.
them 12 minutes were amazing.
It was raw. So I'll give him that. I'll give him that.
I
Definitely.
was like, this is great. This is what you watch Undead Unluck for. It didn't end it, and I was like, well, what's the rest of this?
I will say I can't remember what was Billy's. Well, no, Billy, because Billy was copied. But
Yeah,
the one thing that did confuse me was why Unjustice's ability didn't work at the end. Does that mean that Billy was still on their side or something at the end
that's
of the
my
day?
assumption. That's my assumption because her whole thing is like an injustice. So technically, her using her ability should have made Billy turn against like his allies.
Yeah.
So him being able to hit Injustice just basically meant like he's talking. That's why I think like at the end of the episode, even though she lost, well, spoilers, she lost her damn arm. She was still like on that table, on the operating table, smile like had like the biggest grin because she was like, oh, he might be doing this crazy shit, but he's actually still a
He's
part of the
still one of
team.
us.
Yeah. But now, like the question begs, what the fuck does that mean? Like, what? Like, how? I guess is he? Like, what is? I'm wondering what his goals are, his aims that makes it so that he still aligns with the round table. I guess.
Yeah, especially since it looks like whatever he's doing is like the complete opposite of what they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially like you said, for the simple fact that he has the round table things of that nature. So it's like, how are you still on that side? How are you still gonna plan? I guess if his ultimate goal is to still to defeat God, that's technically still means we're on the same page. But she mentioned that when she was giving her little spiel, right? Like we got the same goal. We want to defeat God. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's very interesting to see. I want to know, like, what. I hope it's not dumb. I really hope it's not dumb. But like, I really want to know, like, what the inner machinations of Billy are that made him that would make him still be on the overall side of the rest of the group. I can't remember the organization name, but
The union,
the union. Thank you.
the
To still
union.
be on their side, because I like as Ace pointed out, as it was said in the episode, their ultimate goal they're technically still the same. They just have different outcomes at the end that they're trying to get. So it would be interesting to see later on what the hell what is Billy's true plan? Because right now we have no idea.
Well, it looked like is some way he also want to use Undead and Unluck to defeat God in some way because they're all
Yeah,
banking on Unluck's ability to be able to defeat God now, which is crazy. But
I
I mean, it
mean,
is a powerful ability. So I guess if they could evolve it to the strength
yeah,
where she can cause cosmic paracausal unluck, then hey,
yeah. I mean, I won't put it back. That's the whole thing. The series has basically been building up to is that this girl is so unlucky, nothing can go against it. Like they even did that at the end, technically of the special, where you had what was that UAB's name? Fuck, I can't remember. Jesus,
some
it's
of the
been
one they
so.
fought at the end,
Yeah,
unbalanced.
unbalanced. Whole thing was like I basically flipped everything on his head. Even my like, and then she just came out of nowhere. And was like, "And you did. It don't matter what you do."
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like we said, probably the Undead Unluck Winter Special really didn't need to be a special. They could have really just saved it for the beginning of season 2. Even if they just wanted to do a 1 hour special for the season 2 opener, right? Then just do that. You know, just do that. We didn't have to have a whole separate special, but maybe they decided to do this because of the length of it, of like the intro. Maybe they didn't want to make a 1 hour intro. I'm not sure how anime production goes, so maybe they wasn't up for the season 2 with things of that nature. But
Yeah.
who knows?
Uh, yeah, but it'll be interesting to see what happens if they bring it back. I will say this before we move on. Did this make you excited at all for season 2? Because
A
I think
little
that's
bit,
the
yes,
biggest
because the animation for
thing.
that fight was top notch. So that did get
Mhm.
me excited.
Okay. See, I'll say this. If this was ultimately the goal, because this is what I feel like, good job? Right? Like, because I will say I'm also looking forward to season 2 if this is like the way we're going to be moving from that.
Because it also makes me feel like that we may or might be heading to the final arc. I'm not sure how long Undead Unluck is. I'm not even sure if it's
Well, I
still
know it's
going in the
done.
manga or not.
No,
It
the
is
manga's
done.
done. Yeah, the manga's done.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
So
I'm
it
assuming
kind
that
of
might be the
feels like we're
case.
already headed into the final arc. It doesn't look like the story is that long.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, I'm excited for that as well. But hey, I don't know what's with these new animes nowadays. We can't get no animes longer than 3 seasons nowadays. They all got to end within 3 seasons. My Hero was the lucky exception slash not Black Clover, because I mean Black Clover is more than 3 seasons. I don't know if they count it as more than 3 seasons, but in their
But
catalog,
yeah, I
but
was about to say
they got a shit ton of
if you split
episodes.
stuff up, yes, you could technically say it's more than 3 seasons. But on paper, it's like probably just gonna be 2.
But yeah, but I mean, overall, I think the Undead Unluck Special, I'll probably give it. I guess I'll at least give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay,
The fighting saved it. The fighting saved it.
I was thinking the same thing, like 7 or like 6.5 to 7, probably. for me.
Yeah, I was gonna give it a 6 at first, but the fighting saved it. It was nice.
Right, moving
All
on.
right. Well, moving on from there, everybody, we're gonna be heading on to our next topic. And which one you want to start with? You want to do JJK or Sense to Be a Hero? What you feeling like?
We could do Sense to Be a Hero since I believe we did JJK last time.
I believe we did as well. But all right, everybody, let's go ahead and talk. Listen to two men yap about Sense to Be a
Be a
Hero.
Hero, yep. Welcome to the Yap section. So, like where we left off of Sense to Be a Hero, basically everything. We were setting up for the fight against the Demon Lord. What is it?
Can't remember his name, but there was basically they got sentenced to defend a castle from a demon lord. Basically, it was a suicide mission.
Yeah,
Like you said, I can't remember the demon lord's name either. But
I have it written down here. I thought I highlighted it. Now I'm taking give me a hard time.
they give you a hard time. Are we gonna do a live check for this demon lord's name?
He in here. I know
All
he
right.
in here. He in the
I
file.
know he in here. All right, everybody. We spent some time on this, so might as well go ahead and see it through. We're gonna do a live check real quick here.
Do apologize.
For this demon lord's name, so we can be.
Iblis.
There we go. All right.
Iblis. There we go.
Demon
Sorry.
Lord Iblis.
Iblis. We were defending a castle against Demon Lord Iblis. So we found out a couple of things in episode 1. Xylo don't fuck with some people called the Master Bolts. We'll get back to that next episode. 2, we meet a new hero named Zav, who was a member of a cult.
Essentially.
Yeah, an assassin from a cult called Gwen Moja. And the reason how he got caught is very funny, I think, because he didn't kill his targets. He used to feel bad for his targets, so he used to find people that he felt deserved it or were like easy kills and go after them. And eventually he ended up killing somebody who I guess was like high up in the shadow government, and they were like, we can't have you
running around here.
Out here doing shit like this. So they was like, we sent you to be a hero. He's a very funny
said the
character.
famous words.
Yeah, very funny character. And also, besides that, we also found out that we also met another goddess.
That we did.
Where is it?
Can't remember what they said she does. I believe for some reason my mind is telling me she has something to do with poison. But I can't remember what they said.
The ninth goddess, Pelmary. Yeah, she's.
Or did they mention her powers? I can't remember.
No, hold on. I'm trying to find. I have the note right here. It also appears that Pelmary. Let's be praised. Oh yeah, it doesn't. I don't think they mentioned what her abilities are, but we know her. We know her as the ninth goddess, and she's packed with a guy named Hordes Civilos, who seems to also be like a holy knight captain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the biggest thing though from that episode are like these 2 episodes from 5 and 6. Well, 5 especially. We find out that humans are working with the Demon King for the demons for some weird reason. Very odd, because like we were like they said this was basically a suicide mission that they were doing decently well against when it was just the fairy blight, but then people on horseback, people on demon back technically showed up. I mean, they were those were demon horses. Showed up and started and basically ruined all the defensive plans because they weren't prepared for people to basically infiltrate the castle.
Be out there helping the demons and things of that nature. Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's wild. I think before we get too deep into it, Hero Sav is definitely a nice, interesting hero to add to our cast here. Loving his little shtick, right? And it was missing the assassin type, so he fills a role we was missing. We got a thief, we got an assassin, we got I guess just a berserker guy. I can't remember this guy's name, but the one guy who's like a zombie.
Shoot, Ben, it's crazy.
We got our zombie guy who's basically just a berserker, and then we got our the king who's a mechanical type, right? He's our engineer. So I mean, listen, we're getting all our roles filled here, all right. And also,
Basically.
Saab is also a sniper as well, so he doubles. He doubles as an assassin type and a sniper, right?
I was just about to say, there's also that. Where is Tatya? That's that's the berserker guy.
Yes, he is a listen.
So
he is a beast.
Actually, to get to like, if we can, to get to episode 6,
Mm-hmm.
that he screamed so hard that he blew up people's heads.
Man got a sonic wave attack with his scream.
They were like, the moment that he was like, episode 6, the way it starts, everybody's like freaking out because our humans helping to defecate, and then Tachi's in the sewers with some holy knights, and he just yelled, and he basically take out like half of them before he gets to scrapping with them for real. And I'm just like, oh, we had nothing to worry about. That's a demon. Y'all worried about this demon king. Y'all got a demon on your party. Y'all need to be looking out.
Listen, after the Minds episode, I already knew the underground of the council was secure. When they said Tassi was down there, I already knew. I said, oh, they got that on lock.
It's crazy.
Yes, that was crazy. But we're adding more heroes to our little roster, filling out our roster. And, even episode 7, we added another one that we're going to talk about a little bit later on here.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe probably episode 5 and 6, probably the best episodes so far, besides like that first episode.
I agree. Definitely 6, because the fight with Iblis and his army, well, specifically Iblis, I'll go like, so we get to Terry to finally like confront Xylo about like why the heck he don't want her around, and we basically find out that Xylo, like Terita, feel like is very similar to Terita in the fact that he feels like he's responsible for everybody, like he's compelled to protect.
He's
other
basically
people.
he wants to be a real hero, essentially.
Yeah, and he does. So the fact that he lost a goddess already makes him very hesitant to put Terita in the field, even though she herself feels the same way. She feels like she needs to protect people, like she has an urge. That might be all goddesses. I'm not completely sure, because they somewhat hint to that being the nature of goddesses, but it's definitely Terita's thing. And so we see her and Xylo basically agree that like they're gonna start working more together as a team, and they go and confront Iblis directly, and they look like they whooped his ass. And then all of a sudden we find out, oh, he's detachable. It's a second phase where he separates part of his body from his main body, and he basically almost kills Xylo and Terita, basically, is what it looks like. But we find out that Terita has the ability
trump card.
Yeah, to make what did they call it?
The Holy Sword.
I was about to say Excalibur, but I think it's just called the sword. And the thing can just delete people.
Demon lords. It can delete any demon lords, apparently.
All you got to do is stab and then twist. It is basically the ultimate Keyblade.
At least as far as we know for right now, and at least from what Terita is saying, like there's no demon lord that can withstand a strike from the Holy Sword, things of that nature. But of course, only time will tell if that is truly the case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm very interested. This seems, I don't know how many episodes are in this season, but I just felt like this is very interesting to reveal this trump card halfway through.
This early. Yeah, I feel you.
Because I feel like that just means this isn't the real trump card. There's other trump cards coming later.
For some reason, I feel like people who make pacts with goddesses can do some little weird fusion thing for some reason. I don't know why.
That's what I'm wondering too. Because like I said, they have not. I don't know if like it's different in the light novel, but they have not sat down and be like, hey, this is what goddess packs do. Because my assumption right now, just based off what I saw like in episode 6, is that it increases when you become in contact with your goddess on a battlefield. It looks like it increases your physical and magical abilities to a point, and also allows the goddess to
use her abilities,
to do her extreme shit. But they haven't said that outright, so I don't know. I don't know if the pop-offs are happening correctly or not.
We haven't gotten the goddess exposition dump yet.
Yeah, which is very interesting, because I'm just like, I like show don't tell, right? But this feels almost like exclusively we're just gonna show you, and you just come up with whatever you see because they like there's no clarification at all.
And then another thing I did want to touch upon before we hit episode 7 as well. We already touched upon a little bit, but I just want to reiterate it, right? The guy that pulled up on Demon Backs, the coexisters, the fact that they actually pulled up though this early, like you just mentioned, they showing the Holy Sword this early, but hell, we showing the coexisters this early, right? So I mean,
Yeah, which is
they
also
actually showing their hand this early, like
yeah.
bold too, like they pulled up to the battle.
Also, it was so funny that it happened on the nose exactly because what's his name warned Xylo about about people that were working with Demon
Which
King.
makes me think he knew that was coming.
Yeah, that was like, I don't know. Are you just what's up with you? What's going on? Because at one moment you be acting like you're useless, and the next moment you got all the answers. Like what's going on here?
He got the connections. He's our intelligence guy.
Mm-hmm.
You got the connections, but yeah, the coexistence they don't reared their ugly heads, so they might play a bigger role within the season already than we think. See if they're already showing themselves.
Yeah, yep. Which is a good way. So 7, because we also learned something that we learned about another demon lord, and that shit was crazy. But to go a little bit over like some of the stuff there. So after the fight with Iblis, Xylo is in the hospital or the infirmary, I guess I should say, and he's making recovery. And they first the holy knight he's been working with. What's her name?
Kyria.
Kyria, thank you. Kyria explains to him like, "Hey, you've been relegated. You guys have been relegated to this port city, for right now, and it's at least introduced at first as a vacation. But then we find out that there are people in the city looking to kill Terina because they don't want to accept the fact of a new goddess. And one of the people that potentially could be out on the look for her is a demon king itself. But we find this out from Xylo's ex-fiance, or technically current fiance. They have a very interesting relationship where it doesn't seem like they're broken up, but also at the same time, Xylo was like, "Hey, I am technically a walking corpse here, lady. Like, I don't like this marriage probably is not going to continue." But we find out he's still married to this noble woman named Francie Massabo, who's she's not currently residing in her homeland because she is looking for this demon lord
Demon Lord
named
Spriggan.
named Spriggan, who apparently has the ability to turn into a human. Which, if we have demon lords that can just turn into humans, this explains a lot of the shady shit that's happening with the hero organization right now.
Yes. Yes, but now that you mention it, because she also mentioned that it's not just a trait to Spriggan. It's a rare trait, but
Yeah.
other demon lords can have this trait, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
now
like,
potentially, like you just mentioned, there could be a demon lord directly in the Citadel. Crazy, just freaking crazy.
yeah. I mean, it really paints Boy's backstory with the fact that he can't be telling truths on accident. Even makes it even crazier because
It
that
could have been a demon lord that set him up on
exactly,
all of this stuff.
exactly. But so Xylo and Terita and who you just said her name,
Kyria.
Kyria, basically form a plan to like, all right, well, we're not gonna just sit here and wait till assassins come at our door, right? So they devise a plan with Xylo, Terita, Kyria, and Zav. They go on a shopping episode and they get ambushed. Luckily, for the most part, they're able to defend themselves until these two cracked assassins come out of nowhere and start running, throwing hands. This is probably some of like the best close
Hand-to-hand
quarters
combat.
combat. Yeah,
Yeah.
close quarters combat
Well, I
that's
guess
been in
close
the
quarters.
series.
Yeah. 100%.
And we basically find out they handle one of the one of the assassins has like the ability to shapeshift their hand, and the other one is just really fucking strong. Like no matter what they throw at this dude, he's walking through it. He got annoyed at one of his subordinates. He ripped half his face off. I was like, all right, this guy is just a demon. Turns out I was right because Jace, the new hero that we meet, he's a dragon tamer. He shows up to basically help out his crew, and he ends up setting this guy on fire. And we're like, great, we got rid of the assassins. And then the dude gets back up. And is like, dragon fire. Hurts a lot more than I thought. And you just there like, all right, well,
Yeah, buddy, boy. It's because to me, when excuse me, when the fight first, when the squabble first broke out, I thought old boy was just a human who was somehow affected by the demon blight. So I was like, oh snap, this is our worst fears coming true,
Mhm.
right? Humans gaining the power of the demon blight. Lo and behold, no, it's our second worst fear coming true. It's
True.
the demon lord himself
Demon Lord himself. And I just
out
have to
here scrapping.
and I just have to say the rate at which Sinister Beer Hero progresses plots is fucking hilarious. The moment something gets mentioned in an episode is either gonna happen the exact next episode or it's gonna happen 5 minutes from when they talk about it.
Yes, they not playing, boy. They is not playing. They getting these exposition dumps out, and then guess what? It's gonna pay
It's
out.
immediately paid off, which is just great.
It's gonna
very
pay
rare.
out, boy.
It's very rare that shit happens immediately after it's introduced, but Sister Miro is like, we don't have time to be pussyfooting around.
They was
It
like, we
happened
just told you
now.
it was a demon lord out here masquerading as humans. What did your guys think?
Yeah, but that was, like I said, it was a really well animated episode. I'm very interested now to see how, one, besides like the storyline with Spriggan, how the ramifications of humans wanting to work with demon lords and then demon lords also being able to masquerade in society as humans, how that is all gonna
Yeah,
like culminate together.
because I wouldn't know if they because of the demon lords and stuff like that being infiltrated into the church slash, I guess maybe even the military, right? If there's gonna be like some civil war that breaks out within the kingdom now because of this.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but also I'm wondering, like, is this the reason we're getting so many um is this the reason we're getting things like, for instance, Sarita, originally we found out that like she wasn't even supposed to be used in this effort to fight the Demon King. She was supposed to be like an experiment to make more goddesses. I wonder if
Yeah.
that was like actually the true case, and where they just like, oh, we found a nuke that can harm us. Let's make sure it doesn't exist anymore. Like was that the real reason she was out there? Was that they were trying to move a weapon off the board, or were they telling the truth? Were they actually trying to see if they could make more goddesses? And also
Yeah.
could explain like Xylo's mission, the fact that his original goddess and him almost got killed fighting a demon lord, and then they immediately silenced him by turning him into a hero after he survived. That was like, we don't want you telling your story.
Yeah.
Go away. Go.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, if you're a demon lord and you infiltrated the enemy's, stronghold and things of nature, a good move would be to get one of their super weapons on your side. So I mean, hey, it's plausible now. It is now plausible.
Invisible.
It's a lot of different things. It's a lot of different ways this can go now because of the fact of the coexistence and demon lords being potentially infiltrated into the very fabric of the society here of the verse. It's crazy. It's a crazy time. Do we want to rate these episodes? I'm not sure.
Oh no, I didn't think we were.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I thought we were
It's not a
doing like.
problem. That's not a problem. But yeah, Sentence to Be a Hero still shaping up to be a good watch this season, everybody. A lot of intrigue. This is what I like in my, animes. Give me some action, but also give me some mysteries I can pick my teeth on
Yep, some
and
shit to
sit
make
here
you
and rattle
think.
my head on against the things of the nature. So we got a couple of things, the theorized stuff on about now. We already mentioned, like the cult that's infiltrated the military and or the church now, right? We still don't know. We still got a couple of mysteries about the goddesses, like what fully can a goddess do, things of that nature. And then of course we still got the main overarching mystery of who the hell set up Xylo, right? So
Yeah, because my money right now is on potentially a demon lord setting them up, but it could be even worse. That could have just been the church. They could have just been like, look, he was getting
if
too
the
close to that
church
goddess.
turned on us now, well, I can see the church turning on us. That'll probably be my number one guess. That somebody in the church got got a little greed, and they're like, you know what, I want to side with I want to side with the demon lords.
Demons. He's like, look, faith has been dropping. We need these demon lords to do better. So we're gonna take out the goddess for him. We go give them that layup. We just so people can come back to church.
We need people back in the pews. I feel you.
He said tides ain't been hidden like they used to.
Oh my gosh. But all right, yep, that's it. Is to be here once again. It's been a great time. I can't wait to finish out this series this season. But to the next topic, everybody, we're gonna be heading on to JJK, which has always been a banger. Season 3, episode 53 and 54. Starting us off with 53, so you want to take away McMillian?
Yeah. So in this episode, we basically we officially meet Kirara as she fights against Panda and Megami, and we learn that she, in my opinion, has one of the coolest curse techniques. It's based off constellations, and if you are marked with a certain part of a constellation, you can get close to some things, but you can't get close to other things, like, and to the point where they repel.
Probably the most complicated curse technique we've been introduced to
It's,
so far.
it is very complicated, but I'm just saying, in a fight, unless you're like, for instance, Megami just randomly had that
Unless you're a
information.
genius.
So unless you are a genius or an astrology nerd, you probably getting that girl probably beating your ass. I'm just gonna be real straight with you, because she was basically throwing people in the air, or making cars spin.
Maybe a range sorcerer could probably still deal with her easily, though.
Potentially, yeah, definitely range. Like, we're gonna negate this fight altogether. But it was just really cool, like how she used her abilities. Like, even like for instance, she used coins to like propel her mobility. Like, she was throwing coins out and marking them at the same time. I'm like, this is such a creative character.
Yeah, it was cool to see her use her abilities. It was nice.
But eventually Megami and Panda, basically, thanks to Megami figuring out what her ability was, they were able to get a hold of her and be like, hey, we're not trying to fight you. Believe it or not, Gojo actually got sealed, and we would just like your help to get him unsealed. And I just think it's funny because when they tried to have this conversation originally, she was like, you're lying. There's no way this is a possibility. And then when they reiterated it after the fight, she was like, oh, damn, y'all serious?
You for real. Yo, you for real. Oh yeah, because who in their right mind would believe Gojo lost? Man, just get out my face.
This is why this is such a what's make JJK so interesting to me, because again, normally the heroes don't normally have the OP character, so the situations like this are just, one, besides being funny, just really interesting to like see play out. Like, you have a character so strong that like when people say something bad happened to them, they don't believe you.
Gojo got locked up, man. Stop lying.
Stop lying. What are you talking about? But yeah, but even though they were able to convince Kirara, obviously the stuff with Yuji and Hikari was still going on, and Hikari was beating Yuji's ass until Yuji basically proved that he had heart, or the gumption, the passion to stand up against a stronger enemy, regardless of like what was going to happen to him. That was, I was just like, well, okay. Thank you for reminding me this is a shonen.
I really need to see Hikari in action, because the way they hyping this man up right now, they swear he tougher than my boy Toto right now. I swear, man.
They gave Hikari serrated cursed energy. He said my cursed energy is rougher and more damaging than the normal person's, and I'm just like, what is this guy? Who is this?
They trying to sauce him up right now, and I'm telling you, ain't nobody saucy than my boy Toto. They're gonna have to show me.
I'm just hoping he lives up to the hype, because like, he was a crime boss that walked away from Jujutsu Society, and now besides just that, obviously he has an interesting curse technique that we only got a glimpse at, and also now his curse energy itself is structured different than the average person. Like, they're legit telling us to our face right now, Hikari is built different.
That's what they're trying to tell us. That's what I said. I need to see it. I need to see it, especially when he was talking all that big talk on some. Yeah, well, if this the strongest guy, shouldn't I be the one to go out there? Oh, okay, well, look at you, Mr. Big Pants. Why don't you go take him on in? Go take him on in, Mr. Tough Guy. Let's see it.
Basically. So at the end of the episode, we see them all, agree to be on each other's side, but also right before we end the actual episode, I don't know how to describe it. It's a curse representative of the Culling game.
The Culling game avatar.
Yeah, thank you. That's a better, therefore pops up and announces that another player, Hajime Kashimo, added a rule 9, which allows people to view information on other players to see their names, the amount of points that they've made since the game has started, and their current like colony, like, so what team they're a part of is whatever,
and any rules that they added.
Oh yes, and any rules that they've added. Thank you. And basically, we also find out that because we see a glimpse of Hajime, the reason he did this is because he wants to keep fighting. He wants to fight stronger opponents. Not only that, but he he himself may, well, I shouldn't assume gender, but they themselves apparently knew Sukuna. So Yuji has an issue on his hands because there's a crazy murderous sorcerer out there looking to run the fade with. And the last time that happened, Shibuya got packed up. Okay,
That is what happened the last time a guy came looking for Sukuna. We lost Shibuya, or a part of it. We did lose a part of Shibuya last time somebody came looking for Sukuna. So, like you said, this could potentially be a very big problem.
mm-hmm.
Especially since they looking for him. Then, well, I don't know. Are they looking for him? Well, no, yes, they are looking for him. But I was thinking that technically, isn't that the guy Hikari is supposed to be fighting though, right? So are they all going to end up at the same place?
So they're
or is Hikari going to somebody else?
So in the beginning of 54, this is what Ace is getting into. In the beginning of 54, we found out Hikari is looking for Kashimo because they're trying to see if they can convince either Hajime or this guy named Higuruma to be on their side and give them points. So Hikari, Panda, and
okay, yes, you're right. And Yuji searches for Hiraguma, not the Hashima guy. You're right. Okay.
Yeah, so Hikari, Panda, and Kirara are looking for Kashimo, and Itadori and Megami decide to go look for Higuruma.
There we go. You're right.
And we also, in this episode, in 54, we learn a little bit more about the Culling Game rules. For instance, the avatar that we saw at the end of 53 is connected to Yuji, even though they hadn't fully started the Culling Game yet. The reason why Yuji did is because apparently Kenjaku at some point made a pact with Sukuna,
which is already an issue. So these guys making plans thousands of years ago is very, very concerning.
Yeah, I was like, okay. I just thought that was funny because last time we talked about this, we were like, who did Kenjaku not make a pact with?
Yeah.
Because we were like, he made a pact with the universe.
Maybe that's how his fingers became cursed objects.
Well, no,
maybe because the pact he made with the Kenjaku.
I can't even put that past it because I have no idea when shit happened. But the way they talk about it in the earlier season is in season 1 was that Sukuna was just that guy to the point that even after death he became a cursed spirit. That's how they talk about it. So I don't know if Kenjaku was involved with that, but at this point I can't put it past.
We just don't know at this point.
He's connected to so many things now. I can't put it past.
Potentially use his birth for whatever weird reason.
Well, I mean, it's not even potential. We technically got confirmation because we see in the beginning of 54.
Yeah, he was
Kenjaku came to people.
His mom as a part of using his mother as a host.
Yeah, but I'm also talking about in the beginning of 54. Kenjaku came to people inside of certain parts of where the Culling Game were happening. If you didn't want to be a part of it, he personally escorted you out.
Yeah.
And we see the girl that had a crush on Yuji, and Kenjaku specifically thanks her for being a friend to his son. before like he disappears, and I'm like, well, if that's not a called shot for him being Yuji's mom, I don't know what is.
Yuji's mom / father.
I just like what is the plot here? Like I really want to know what evil plan was that?
Now it's making me wonder, God, did you have a baby just to make a vessel for Sukuna? Like, what's going on here? Was this your master plan? Did you really have a baby to make a vessel for Sukuna here?
That is. I'll say this. That's the most dedicated I think I've ever heard of a villain being. Like I used to think that we're like Reverse Flash was the most dedicated villain I ever known.
He's taking Orochimaru into another level.
I gave birth to my op. Like nobody. How many people can say that?
He's taking this Orochimaru business to a whole nother level, man. It is crazy.
Oh, but moving past that, so we finally get to see fully properly like what happens when someone joins the Culling Game for real. When Megami and Yuji basically enter, I forgot what ward or colony they like jumped into. But
yeah, I can't remember which one either.
We find out that basically the Culling Game is like a battle royale because the moment you jump in that bitch, you start falling from the sky.
But to randomly specify points, though, they're spawn points.
Yeah, there are spawn points. So because the people usually, well, actually, I guess Megami also ran into one, but we didn't get to see it. Yuji got spawn camped.
Legit, he got spawn camped.
Like they show they should like even before it happens. We meet the sumo character and this male character. They're talking on walkies, and they're basically like talking about like, have you seen anybody? Da da da. This I'm like, what is happening here? And then Yuji starts falling from the sky, and I'm like, oh, they're spawn camping. I've seen this. I know enough of.
Immediately smack this man mid air. Don't even let him hit the ground.
Also, can I just say that those curse techniques just seem bad to me? Your hair turned into a jet.
Bad but effective. Hey, if you catching niggas out the air,
but the thing
and smashing them into buildings unaware.
Sure, let's say it's effective, but at the same time, there's a reason they were spawn camping. Okay,
okay, you right. I'll give you that.
Because Yuji, without even like using much cursed energy, took out the girl.
That he did.
And the guy thought he had him dead to rights. Punched him in the center of his shit. And that nigga, I don't know if he did. I don't think he died, but he basically got fucked up to the point where it was his tower.
He might not have made it. He hit him pretty hard, so he might not be with us no more. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised, especially if old girl. I wouldn't be surprised. Old girl definitely not with us no more because she fell out the sky.
She fell out the sky, and we never saw anything from her. Like she went off screen, and that was it.
She fell out the sky. She ain't no regular person because she mentioned that crash. She was surprised when that crash didn't kill you. She was like any other normal person would have died from that impact. So that impact, she might be frail already. Don't tell him. She might not be with us either. So Yuji may have already caught his one body that he needed within the first 19 days or 19 hours? I think it was 19 days. Was it 9 days?
Yeah, I think it was.
I can't remember. There was a lot of rules.
Man. Like, but after the respective fights, we basically find out there's this guy named Rin who was basically being used as a lookout by the other two sorcerers that Yuji handled. Yuji asks him after they have a brief interaction, do you know where to find Higuruma? And he tells him that, where is it? Because I know they gave them, I didn't write it down, but basically Rin is with Yuji, and then there's this girl that Megumi basically fought, but also is now friends with, quote unquote, maybe.
It's a setup.
Named Remy, and they both give different. We basically end the episode off with Yuji asking Rin and Megumi asking Remy where Higuruma is, and they both give them contradictory answers of like where he could be. So one of them obviously is lying, and I guess we'll find out.
It's a setup.
You think it's a setup in general?
I
wouldn't be surprised. The way the color game is happening, I would not be surprised if it is a setup, because at the end of the day, this is a battle royale against sorcerers to kill other sorcerers to get wishes. Who can you trust, really, right? So I guess we'll find out next episode if either one of them was telling the truth, or if this is going to lead to more. Both of them banging, Megami and Yuji banging out on a group of sorcerers to get away.
Yeah. Yep. Well, the color games has officially started, at least, anime wise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Color games has officially started. Definitely looks like we're starting to finally heat up with the action here for the JJK season. So it should be some, squabbling going on from here on out for the most part. Don't know what we're going to get into this next episode, but at least the next episode after that, I'm assuming either we're going to run into Hiragama or Hikaru probably done found Kashimo for whatever reason already. So I'm definitely looking forward within these next episodes. Within these next two episodes, I'm expecting a big fight within these next two episodes. That is what I'm predicting.
Yep. I am looking forward to it too, because if they do fight these individuals, these are some people who seem to be very skilled in their curse techniques. So that means we're going to be getting a real, hopefully, one, really good looking fights, but also two, real technical like sorcery like fights too as well. So
because from looks of it, back the Heian era looks like the era that Sukuna was from basically looks like sorcerers was just running around just out there battling each other.
Everybody was in the streets. Okay, it was
probably like the early ancient Chinese armies fight each other, but we just got sorcerers out there
boxing. Yeah. So I'm very interested to see how this will play out with either one of these encounters. It should be a good time
for the Ming Dynasty. Yeah. It's looking up to be a good time. I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited for the color games. It's finally officially started. Can't
Mhm.
wait for the first real fight to happen, which we might get next episode. Because, like I said, I'm expecting. I believe this is truly a setup that Eugene Megami is falling into. I'm pretty sure they're gonna get ambushed by either one or multiple sorcerers. So hey, we're gonna have to fight our way out of here.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at either one of these things happening. So my money's on one of them telling the truth, the other lying. Both of that does not exclude the setup possibilities from still be happening, right? So
And then Kenjaku, you gotta answer. You gotta answer what you got going on.
honestly, again having a child for the plot is crazy.
I need answers. I need you to explain yourself what you got going on. What is your true goal? Are you really just trying to make everybody be sorcerers again? Is that all? Y'all just miss scrapping so much? Is that what's going
That
on?
is such a, but that is hilarious though to think about. Like, dang, I miss when Jujutsu was at its peak. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make a multi-area killing game inside of Japan just to
Not even that. Make a multi-era plan. He's been doing stuff for thousands of years.
I mean, yeah, not that too. The dedication is crazy.
Just don't make no sense. This man been doing stuff for hundreds of years.
We bringing people back from the dead. We giving random people that never had sorcery in their bloodline sorcery.
And for what? Just to scrap again? Just to scrap again? We doing all this just so we can scrap again.
I miss the days.
Meet me by the precinct. Let's bake it out and let's die.
Exactly. I miss the days where people could just say, "I hate you, Dick."
My gosh, truly, what is your best to play and why are you doing all this? It can't be for the scrap. It can't be just for the love of the game.
Apparently it can. Apparently you seal the strongest person in existence for the love of the game. He said the game was so lopsided, I had to balance it.
My gosh, I can only imagine the foolishness Gojo gonna run through when he got this prism.
Before we move on to news though, could you imagine if in Naruto people were like, we're unsealing the Jinchuriki just for the love of the game? We're just gonna bring the tail beast back because we thought when they was running around it was great. We just thought the random kaiju killing our village. We thought that was when ninjutsu was popping.
That's what it truly meant to be a ninja. When you fear for your life from the nine tails.
Not only from war, but from the giant kaiju tail beast just running the fuck around.
From nature itself, motherfucker.
I just think that would have been a hilarious part. There is no deeper plot about war. There is no we need peace or like the eternal Mangekyo. It is, we just thought it was cool when these tail beasts were out here.
If Kenjaku truly did it for love of the game, JJK definitely takes the crown as the #1 anime for boxing.
That's just a crazy plot point. This is an insane plot point. I have no other plans other than the love of the game.
Oh my God. I want to destroy the world so we can all box again. I missed it when we can all just box. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. But all right, everybody. So before we head on to news, we're going to be giving out this week's weekly recommendation. Oh, well, before that, that was our JJK section. I hope you guys been enjoying JJK just as much as we have. Please stay spoiler free out there. I'm looking at you, margaritas. Leave these anime onlys alone. Leave them alone.
I mean, I hope they got all that shit out. They were doing it before the season came back. I hope y'all got all that shit out. Just
leave it alone. I'm just saying because now this will be the prime time we get spoiled on something because the color games probably done started.
It would be. I'm just saying.
Here come people out the woodworks. Oh, I can't wait for this to fight this person. Oh, I can't wait for this thing to happen. Y'all remember this happened, right?
I'm just saying in the midst of while we were waiting for season 2, they was doing that shit. So I just yeah, it's crazy. Okay,
You're
but
right.
Weekly recommendation. So this week I bring you Kenichi the Mighty Disciple. I think I might have mentioned this before, but the reason I'm bringing it back as a recommendation, if I already had, is that we got announcements. I'm spoiling news for a second. We got an announcement that the series that they're bringing the series back in a manga for a sequel. One, for all the Baki fans, for all like the people that like anime with just scrapping and martial arts, Kenichi the Mighty Disciple, in my opinion, is great. It's like one of the early 2000s animes. Tells a very interesting story, but also like a very comedic story about this guy in high school who wants to get stronger, but is basically overlooked by every martial arts club or team that he tries to join because he has no natural talent, quote unquote. until one day he meets this girl named Miyu, who grew up in a dojo, or she grew up in a dojo that she eventually takes Kenichi back to, and it's got multiple martial arts masters who are regarded as some of the best people in their respective craft, and they all decide to take this guy on as a student because they're like, what if we made a person with no fighting skills the most dangerous person on the planet, essentially? And it like spirals from there about like a tale of like what it means to be like kind of like a martial arts master and the responsibility you have in terms of like protecting the weak or becoming stronger. It's a really nice story. It's also very comedic. It's got 50 episodes. Presented in sub and dubbed in multiple languages. You can find the season on Crunchyroll and at Netflix as well. I believe, unfortunately, I do believe this is one of those animes that has an anime only ending. While the story did continue in the manga, unfortunately, a lot of 2000 early shows were like that. So if you do watch this and end up liking it, I would recommend continuing the story in the manga, as well as because we're getting the sequel series. Yeah, but once again, this weekly recommendation is Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple. Go ahead and check that out.
All right. Thank you for that, McMillian. With all that being said, everybody, we're going to head into our last topic for today, everybody. It's my favorite part of the episode, and I hope it's yours too, everybody. It is time for GOC News, your weekly source for your favorite anime news, everybody. Let's go. And to start us off with news, everybody, we're going to just go straight into the one spoiler that McMillian just mentioned, everybody. Like he just said, Kenji, the Mightiest Disciple, everybody, is getting a sequel manga, specifically on March the 25th, everybody. So be ready for it. It's coming out here soon. It's right around the corner. Go and check it out. Moving on from there, everybody, Crunchyroll is out here being greedy once again because they have raised their subscription prices, everybody. I'm not going to go through the nitty-gritty details of how much they raised it by on each tier list, but they raised their prices again. How do you feel about that, McMillian?
Honestly, kind of, I think you summed it up. People get greedy. As far as I know, they're not improving. My biggest gripe with Crunchyroll right now is that we found out like a while back that they got rid of some of their translators because they started using AI. My thing is, yes, and my thing is, if we're going to raise these prices, this better be to pay actual people, and if it's not, you're just doing this for bullshit.
It's going to be to pay somebody, all right. The CEOs and all the VPs and stuff, that's who's going to be put to pay.
Like, so again, this is price hike is just kind of just for bullshit, I feel like. I mean, it's up to everyone individually to decide if they want to stick around. But just so you know, these price hikes do go into effect on March 4th. So if you want to avoid that, or like, trying to come to a decision, unfortunately, this is like a week away from when we're recording. So try to just be aware by March 4th, your subscription fee might go up.
There we go. Yep, going on up. Moving on up. Excuse me, everybody. Moving on from there, everybody. Blue Exorcist fans, manga fans specifically, we got a manga break. The Blue Exorcist manga will be going on a 4-month hiatus, everybody, to prepare for the final chapter. That's right. You heard what I said, the final chapter. And another interesting thing about this, the author of Blue Exorcist mentioned, funny enough, that Blue Exorcist, get this, is just a prequel to the main story. Yeah.
I did. I did hear something about that. I totally forgot about that until you mentioned it. Yeah, I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
As a person, now granted, I don't read the Blue Exorcist manga. I watched this anime, and considering the arc we left off in the anime, there's no fucking way you telling me this is a prequel and this is the preamble to something. What the is coming after this? I don't.
This has been a setup for the story that they really want to tell. Apparently, the true story. All of this setup.
That's just insane to think about. That this is the preamble to something else.
It's wild.
So much.
But I guess in that instance, that potentially means Blue Exorcist will continue just like in a different form, but or because I don't think they're gonna pull like a Soul Eater / like Fire Force type of change like that, big drastic change.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Well, the Fire Force and Soul Eater one, that was like that. First off, the creator of Soul Eater took a break in between making something, and then he came out of nowhere with Fire Force, and then before Fire Force ended, everybody found out that it was a sequel. So like, I know that man had machinations. Okay, he took a break to machinate, to plan everything out for it for not only for Fire Force to be a prequel, but then to plan the sequel series. So yeah, this would be I'm very interested to know what the hell the Blue Exorcist creator is doing, because this is just crazy. But after that, we also got some news from, besides the Crunchyroll news, Prime Video, we found out is going to had got the streaming rights for the new Ghost in the Shell series.
Okay.
The reboot of the reboot or remake of Fist of the North Star. They had I believe if they already had Old Country Bumpkin season 1, but now they're also doing season 2. So for people who are fans of those series, be on the lookout. Those are going to be exclusive to Prime Video.
Nice. All right, everybody. Moving on from there, Ufotable did a presser here recently, and they released a promo reel of their upcoming projects for some of their upcoming projects. I'm gonna go over a couple of them. Starting us off with the Witch of the Holy Night, which is gonna be premiering sometime this year in 2026. Don't know much about it, but the trailers look crazy.
I mean, it's supposed to be another series from Type Moon, the person who created Fate.
No, there we go.
I don't know much about it. I just know apparently it's like really good. It's supposed to be something that's really interesting. But as always, Ufotable makes.
For some reason, it reminds me a lot of Magica Madoka when I look at it. But
that's fair. I would say that also kind of gives that same type of energy. But it looked great, as Ace said. Yep. Did you want to continue or
yes? Continuing on from there, the Infinity Castle trilogy, but specifically part 2 of the trilogy, as well as the long-term Genshin anime that they've been talking about here for a while. This was announced back in 2022 here? Yeah, yep. 2022, which is crazy. So we're just now hearing about that again. I'm wondering if this is just more of a promotional for the video game rather than people like a story that they're actually trying to tell. So that's I'm really interested in that. Are they trying to tell the story in anime version, or is this more just a promotional?
I was about to say the news online makes it sound like it's an actual anime project or something that's coming for Genshin Impact. So I am interested as well, because I do remember this being a rumor or something about this in 2022, but again, it's been 4 years? Yeah. So like, I'm so surprised that they actually followed through with that. I'm interested to see what comes out of it, if it will be a full-blown thing or just a promotional. But yeah, so like Ace said, also with the second film of Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Infinity Castle, that should be coming to, I know it's in Japan, it's supposed to be coming like around this year, but for some reason they're also putting the part 1 back in theater. It's on March 6th.
I think they're just getting everybody ready for part 2.
Yeah,
that's my only.
Well, most I mean, from what it sounds like though, we at least in America, we won't be getting part 2 till beginning of next year, maybe. Considering like
maybe we could see it. We could see it like end of this year.
Potentially. I mean, that's the timeline predicts that's when it's gonna come to Japan. So I'm just saying, like, if we get a couple of a break in between that, most likely we'll see it at the beginning of next year. So.
Well, yeah. Well, whenever it drops in Japan, it's normally like 3 to 4 months right after that in the West. Yeah. If it does come in Japan at the end of this year, it should be, like you said, early 2027.
Yeah. That's why the summation. But moving on from there, we got news about Go-Go, another manga announcement. Go-Go Loser Ranger is also entering its final arc on March 18th. Nice. So for Go-Go Loser fans, be on the lookout for that, for those that read the manga. And hopefully for us anime fans, that means production on the anime can move along smoothly.
Yes, at least that's the hopes, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And then for our last little piece of general news, everybody. So Crunchyroll is also doing a little sneak peek of the spring 2026 season, everybody, where they're going to be showing off 4 first episodes for some upcoming titles on the spring season, specifically the Witch Hat Atelier, Demons of the Shadow Realm, which is a new anime from the creator of Fullmetal Alchemist, ReZero Season 4, as well as The Drops of God. Don't know much about that one, but it is I believe Jay looked it up. He said it was a French-American K-drop K-drama.
So currently there's
it was
in
weird.
2023 it was a American, French, and Japanese like drama series. It's on
There we
Netflix.
go.
I believe it's on Apple TV, and it's also based off the same manga that is now becoming an anime. I had to look it up because it's called The Drops of God. That don't sound extra. That has such a sick name, but apparently the show might focus around like wine or wine tasting, something along those natures. Not sure yet. We'll have to wait and see. But I did make the joke to Ace that if people go to the theater, they might walk off before Drops of God, because you have 3 fantasy series and then a potential slice of life. I just, one of these things isn't like the other, but I am interested to see how much traction this does get, because this is as far as I know, I don't think Crunchyroll has ever like previewed 4 different series in a theater, right? Like I don't think that was a thing that they'd be doing, but apparently they're doing this in America and in like here in the West and in Japan. But on March 16th is when it's supposed to be happening over here in the West, and it should be with Japanese subtitles. I will say this: I like Witch Hat Atelier. I would not mind probably seeing it on the theater screen. So they may get me. I'm not gonna lie. I really like Witch Hat Atelier, and and I'm interested enough to sit down for Damon's. It's just the last 2. I'm not fully caught up on Re:Zero, so it's like, do I want to go pay for a ticket?
Yes, you don't necessarily want to see Re:Zero, but aren't you not interested about the Drops of God?
I don't know. It's again, it looked like a show about wine. I don't know if I'm interested.
Are you not interested?
I don't know. That's not normally my thing. But that was all we had last for general news. So going into new series and upcoming future releases. First things first, Ghost in the Shell. Kind of like I mentioned with the Prime Video, Ghost in the Shell has got a new anime. Currently, it has a promo video, and it does look good, and that's primarily due to the fact that Science Saru, the same people that are currently animating Dandadan, are going to be in charge of the animation / production for this show. And Ghost in the Shell is already, if for people that know, great anime, has some really interesting themes. So I'm interested to see what this like resurgence is going to be like, especially with this new animation. So very looking forward to that coming in July.
Nice. All right, everybody. And then to round off news here, Brad, we're going to be talking about some upcoming releases specifically for the spring season here, everybody. Starting us off with Rooster Fighter Anime is going to be premiering on April 5th, everybody. So get ready, as well as is going to have a March 14th debut on Toonami.
Yeah, that's supposed to be like the English dub. It's supposed to be coming out on Toonami on March 14th. So, hey, just don't take it from us. Toonami also says is potentially just gonna be a banger, so they putting it on TV. Bakido, recent English dub trailer, revealed that it's gonna have a worldwide debut on February 26th. So at the time of recording, that's 2 days away. So by the time you watch it, this is probably already out. So Baki fans, what are you doing? We'll finish this, then go watch the anime. After that, we have Demons in the Shadow. That got a new trailer, which announced more cast, showed off the theme song, and it's going to be debuting on April 4th.
There we go. Once again, from Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman, season 2 is going to be premiering on Amazon Prime, and it's going to be premiering in July, everybody.
After that, we have Dorohedoro is finally coming back on Netflix. Right now there's no trailer, but it has a new visual, and that's coming on April 4th as well. April 1st. My bad.
There we go. And then get ready, fairies, because the final season of Beastars is coming out, everybody, for March 7th on Netflix.
The next, like I said, the prodigal daughter. I was about to say prodigal son, but the main character, which Adler is a girl, is coming out on April 6th. It has a new promo video. Like I said, love Witch Hat Adler. I would recommend going to watch a promo video just to treat your eyeballs. This shit looks gorgeous.
And then last but not least, the next installment of the JoJo Bizarre's Adventures, everybody. Part 7 Steel Ball Run is going to be premiering on March 19th, everybody. So get ready.
Yep, they recently revealed the English dub trailer. The anime sounds and looks good. As a JoJo fan, I am so excited for this next season.
I might start up JoJo's when we get to like part 8 or 9 or something.
I was about to say currently we are currently in the manga is part 9. You gonna have it's gonna probably be a minute before we get to part 9. As far as I know, Araki is an immortal. So like I don't know
which will end first. Everybody, JoJo's or One Piece. Make your bet now. Which series will come to its end first?
I think people would bet JoJo's just because I believe Araki is older than Oda. But like I said, that man is immortal. He don't look. If you look him up, Araki has a picture when he first started JoJo, and I think he was like 20 something, and now the man is around his like 60s, and he looks the exact same.
Somebody put that man in a time capsule.
Who knows? But as always, that was it for news. So we're gonna go ahead and take us on out of here. But as always, guys, appreciate you for watching / listening. If you want to stay up to date on all things about the council, follow us on our social media. That is at Gurren Otakus on Twitter and at Gurren Otaku Council everywhere else. If you want to stay up to date on our releases and stuff like that, please consider subscribing to the channel. Definitely leave us some comments. Let us know what you've been thinking about podcast episodes or recent animes or anything you feel like we should be checking out. If adding to our queues, but also hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date on releases and like the episode. That always helps out. For those listening on audio only platforms, please consider giving the podcast a review as well as sharing it with your friends or family. It really helps us out. With all that being said, guys, hope you are still enjoying this winter season of anime. Hope you guys are staying warm because blizzards and stuff are hitting America again. So make sure you stay inside, staying warm.
It's crazy.
But with all that being said, this is Gurren Otaku Council saying meeting adjourned, everybody. Peace out.